Chapter 8, A Kingdom Divided. Dawn broke over Ashwood with horns and rain. Runners left in every direction carrying Elira's words to villages, mills, and roadside shrines. Princess Elira of Eldoria stands with Ashwood. By noon, the kingdom had heard. By dusk, the kingdom had chosen sides. Some village bells rang in support. Some doors were barred in fear. Some men took old hunting bows down from rafters for the first time in years. And in Eldoria Castle, the war chamber erupted. The banners above the stone towers snapped in cold wind, crimson fields marked by the crowned lion of Alric's line. Below them, black-cloaked messengers rode hard through the gate one after another, mud to their knees, faces pale. King Alric stood at the head of the war table in full armor, gauntlets still wet from the rain. Lord Garrick read the newest dispatch aloud. Briar Hollow refused tax collection at dawn. They rang chapel bells and shouted Elira's name. Another parchment hit the table. North Mill granaries seized by villagers before crown agents arrived. A third. 2 patrol captains report soldiers deserting after hearing the princess has joined the rebels. Alric's jaw locked. Find the source of these lies, he said. Garrick did not look up from the reports. It is not a rumor anymore, Your Majesty. It is a symbol. Alric slammed a fist into the map table, scattering marker pieces across the hills of western Eldoria. She is my daughter. She is now your enemy's loudest banner, Garrick said. The room went very still. At the edge of the chamber, Chancellor Vane cleared his throat carefully. If I may, sire, a public statement could dash. No statements, Alric cut in. No weakness. He turned to Garrick. Issue writs. Any village repeating rebel declarations loses royal protection and grain credit. Vane blanched. Sire, that will worsen dash. Do it, Alric said. Garrick bowed once. At once. Far from the castle walls, Rowan's unit moved before sunrise. No fires. No roads. They cut through cedar gullies and ridge shadow, sleeping in shifts and changing routes twice a day. Elira rode at Rowan's left, hood up against rain, answering scouts as fast as they asked. Manor Road bends east after the lime pits. That bridge floods after 2 hours of hard rain. Do not take the valley floor. Garrick's riders can pin us there. By the second day, people were finding them before the scouts could. A cooper from Thornfield brought wax-sealed letters wrapped in oilcloth. A miller's son from Redfen arrived with a satchel of copied patrol orders stolen from a tax office clerk. An old priest walked 12 miles through rain to hand Elira a list of villages willing to hide rebel wounded. The kingdom was shifting under its own weight. So was Rowan. At a temporary camp in a quarry cut, he watched the new map spread across a crate and said quietly to Bram, "This is bigger than raids now." Bram snorted. Yes. We accidentally started politics. I hate politics. Everyone says that right before becoming historical. That night, Rowan found Elira at the edge of camp beneath a slanted outcrop, drying wet dispatches near a shielded lantern. He crouched beside her and held out a folded cloth. Your hands are freezing, he said. So are yours. Mine complain less. She gave him a tired look. Your hands complain constantly. Mostly by bleeding. A smile touched his mouth despite himself. He took one dispatch, read it, and handed it back. Northwatch says Garrick is building execution frames in 3 market squares, he said. Elira's face tightened. To frighten villages before they rise, she said. Yes. For a long moment they listened to rain ticking against stone. Then she spoke without looking at him. If this turns into civil war, it will be because I stepped into the open. No, Rowan said. It was already war. You just gave people language for what they were surviving. She turned to him. You always sound certain. I am not. No. No. He held her gaze. I am only certain about one thing. What? That I would rather fight beside you than wonder what happened if I had sent you away. The lantern between them flickered low. Elira reached up and touched the line of rain on his jaw with her fingertips, slow and deliberate. I would rather fight beside you too, she said. He leaned in and kissed her, quiet at first, then deeper when she pulled him closer by the front of his cloak. No witnesses. No bravado. Only two exhausted people choosing each other in the narrow space war had left them. When they parted, he rested his forehead against hers. We need sleep, he said. We need 10 years and a kingdom that is not burning. I can offer 2 hours and bad tea. A breath of laughter escaped her. I accept. At dawn on the third day, Elira made a harder choice. She called Rowan, Bram, Mara, and Tomas to the map table and laid down a sealed strip of parchment. Royal cipher. Garrick's hand. Rowan narrowed his eyes. Where did you get this? A courier who thought loyalty could be bought with old titles, Elira said. He has changed his mind. Bram blinked. That is either excellent or terrifying. Both, Elira said. She broke the seal and read aloud. Primary objective, isolate Ashwood leadership by severing village support corridors. Secondary objective, seize Princess Elira alive for immediate transfer to Eldoria. Mara swore under her breath. Elira continued. Contingency order, if seizure fails, circulate declaration that the princess acts under rebel coercion and is unfit to inherit. Silence pressed in. Tomas set both hands on the table. So he means to erase you either way. Yes, Elira said. Rowan's voice was low and dangerous. Then we do not let him write the story. Elira nodded. Agreed. She looked at each of them in turn. I need to go into Eldoria City. Bram's head snapped up. Absolutely not. Mara crossed her arms. Too exposed. Tomas shook his head. Suicide. Rowan did not speak for several seconds. When he did, it was barely above a whisper. Why? Because Garrick controls the court narrative, Elira said. If he brands me coerced, half the kingdom hesitates. If I speak in public myself, with witnesses he cannot silence, his lie breaks. Bram stared at her. You want to walk into the capital while there is a blood decree on anyone sheltering you. I want to keep villages from burning for a lie, she said. Rowan stepped away from the table, jaw tight. I am not sending you into that city alone. You are not sending me anywhere, she replied, softer. I am choosing. He looked back at her, anger and fear burning in equal measure. If you are captured, he wins. If I stay hidden, he still wins, she said. A long, brittle silence. Then Rowan exhaled through his teeth and nodded once. Then we do it right, he said. In and out before curfew bells. Disguise, split escorts, fallback points every 2 streets. Bram muttered, I hate when impossible plans become actual plans. Mara was already sketching routes. Tomas began listing supply needs. Outside the shelter, rain thinned to mist. By evening, the strike team was ready. Elira stood by a shallow stream while Mara trimmed her hair shorter at the shoulders and stained the ends with walnut dye. Her royal rings were wrapped and hidden in oilskin. Her riding cloak was replaced by a cooper's widow shawl and plain market wool. When Mara stepped away, Rowan approached carrying a small dagger in a worn leather sheath. Take this, he said. She looked at it, then at him. Your father's knife. He nodded. I have carried it since I was 16. Rowan, I cannot dash. You can, he said. And you will. He fastened the sheath beneath her cloak belt himself, fingers steady, expression not. Come back to me, he said quietly. No one else was near enough to hear. Elira lifted her hand to his face, thumb brushing the scar at his jaw. "I intend to," she said. Then she kissed him once, fierce and brief, and stepped back before either of them could make promises war would punish. At the top of the ridge, scouts signaled clear passage to the first lane. Below, Eldoria city glowed under storm clouds, divided between fear and defiance. Above, the castle stood like a blade against the night. The kingdom had already split. By morning, it might break.